All right, welcome back. This is day four. So I made a fatal mistake with my recording. I'm using OBS, and my recording, I had my camera, my face camera, which you see in the bottom of the screen. I had that set to the entire screen. So when I recorded these executions, it was just my face the entire time the positions were going on. So instead of showing those videos, I'm just going to do a recap as to what happened. Um, so I made some money on the day. I made uh, I think it was maybe like $1,000, and then if you factor in the minus like $400 from day three, from the Asia session, the following morning, day four, I made like $1,000 on this setup here, and I ended the day up around $700 or so. So at the moment, the account equity right now we're at minus 2,639. So slightly clawing our way back. But let's get into the trades. So I'll just do a higher level overview at the moment. Um, so overnight we had sold off into this large imbalance here. We swept these internal lows, and Asia had a huge run to the upside. So after this huge run here, uh, we had accumulated here, and then I know that ES had formed SMTs down at these lows. ES had taken out the London lows, and these are the London lows here on NASDAQ, which it did not. So we had a bullish SMT here. And then I pretty much just zoomed in and I said, man, I know we're most likely bullish. We're going to all of these highs. And then so once we swept these internal lows, displaced just standard model, we had this imbalance, this 15-second, and I just hopped in right as we were going into that, and it just ran straight up to my internal target. This was the more external target. In hindsight, would have wished I held because I would have gotten another $1,000, but you know, hindsight, there's not much I could do about that. I was just going for the low-hanging fruit objectives, and we had these internal highs. This was like a previous, more major swing high, but these internal equal highs here, and then we had the high from the pre-market session. So all of these stacked highs was my objective, even though I thought it was likely to go even further. So I took that trade. That was a nice, quick, clean win. Exactly what I'm looking for, trying to drag myself out of these losses here. And then I just let the market do its thing for a while. We had a huge sell-off, and it continued selling off, selling off, selling off. And once I saw that we were hovering right above some pretty obvious relative equal lows, and then I saw this model form in the lunch session. So ES had taken out this high, and NASDAQ was the weaker one. We had formed the lower high. There's a clear SMT, and we had a nice, huge displacement move at a time that was very influential to me. So this was right before the 12:50 end of lunch macro. So we had this huge imbalance, all these stacked lows. I was really confident that this imbalance would hold and sell price off. But just the way that price action unfolded, I just took two break-even trades. So I had gotten in short here. We made this high. We dropped lower, took out the internal lows, ran all the way back up to stop out that internal high, dropped lower again, and I had gotten stopped out on this big wick. I think there was like an SMT here with ES. Realistically, should have held it until this internal low. That's when I should have went break even. But either way, I would have gotten stopped out at break even. And then this to me was another clear entry model. So we rated these highs. dropped lower. We ripped through this entire up close candle. We had this imbalance here. This is like your change in the state of delivery here, your order block. So I was really confident in this setup as well. I went short right as we broke through that. But just all of this garbage price action. All I can say is I was very confident in the model, but I cannot risk losing a trade just sitting through PM session consolidation. I only have so much drawdown left. I really need my trades to be efficient and immediate delivery, just like the first trade here. I entered this trade in the morning and I was out literally like 5 minutes later, done. These are the types of trades that I need to utilize right now to try to drag myself out of the drawdown that I'm in. So although I was confident in this model, I entered at 124 and 139, I'm sitting through, 15 minutes of chop, and then it comes ripping against me. I was like, I think this is going to hold, but I'm getting out, man. I can't risk, giving up my profits on this setup when I already won on the day. So I exited, and I just watched, and shortly after, as we're going into that 1:50 p.m. macro, it just blasted off right down to my targets. That would have been a clean 70-point move. So regardless, I liked these executions on the day. I think I traded well, took a win in the morning, dabbled in some trades in the PM, but made sure, even though I was trading, that I'm going to be really, really demanding on price action and just try to minimize any chances of me taking a loss. So, quick review. That's day 4. We're fighting back. We're still in this. One funded account right here. We just got to make like 11,500, and then I'll be able to take a payout. So we're going to try to keep this momentum going. I've liked the way that I've been trading the past 2 days, so we'll see. Until I see you in the next one, enjoy your night. Peace out.